fade it in basically a little bit.
I mean, or we could just
Start now.
Why not?
Talk about dick now.
talk about dick now.
Let's talk about dick now.
Listen.
Talk about dick whenever you
why
want
y'all
to.
looking at me?
Because you're the dick guy, you dick.
Why am I the dick guy?
King Dick.
I mean, all I gotta say is I feel like your dick might look like a button in a fur coat.
Listen.
I know you're not trying people out here.
Why do you have a take about what his dick
The
looks
royal
like?
penis is clean, Your Highness.
I don't know, man.
Yo, yeah, why is that the take?
King shit.
You strike. Oh, wow,
my
nice.
God, dude.
You strike me as a hairy cat. You know what I mean?
Is it one of those take one to know one kind of things? Do you feel a sense of bodily grown fur?
Sense of furry kinship.
There we go.
Listen, I remember the time I started growing hair on my kneecaps, and I woke up one day, yo, when the fuck did that get there?
Yeah. Oh, you can hear in the background is.
Yeah, we got content for days.
Oh, Brian, fucking quit.
You know how
Easy money.
We just killed a minute.
Oh
Almost.
my God.
All
yo.
right, everybody, we are coming in on podcast. What is this? We're going on 1.4.
Oh shit.
We're at 1.8, I think.
We should probably.
All
keep
right,
track of
well,
this.
welcome everybody to the show, and because we are
Four nerds, one podcast.
all right. Let's go around. How's everybody feeling today? How we doing?
Everything's everything, man.
Ass.
Out here. Asshole. Feeling like dick. Is
Just
that what
cheeks.
it is? Oh, man.
Ass, dick. I mean, this is a
Nah.
genitalia-filled pod, isn't
You know,
it?
It is.
I would say that I'm feeling pretty good, man. And, hitting the gym today felt really, really good today. It was one of those things where, once you get past the the Monday funk, you just roll into Tuesday just feeling.
He threw on his Doom playlist, that's for sure.
Is that what it is?
Fucking right.
Oh,
Rip
man.
and tear, bitch. Getting it.
Well, that makes a strong one of us. 25% of us go to the gym.
I was gonna go for a run today, but it went to work, cook, pod. Work, cook, pod.
Yeah.
And went to work, overtime, food, pop. Work, the notes on the pod.
So exciting.
Oh, man. All right, so around the room, just in case you forgot who we are, I am your homie, the big bruh, Izzy Takamono out here. That's IZZYTAKAMONO on all the socials. To my immediate left, I have my man, my mellow, one of the other folks with glasses.
D-Truth, the professional. You already know what it is. D-Truth_music on everything. Holla.
Yeah. Immediately across from me, because I am not part of the glasses gang, I have my man, my mellow, over here from international waters.
Lebanon Don. And today's pudding flavor, strawberry.
Strawberry pudding.
Are we really leaning into the
Putin flavor?
It's
I mean, are they a Russian strawberry?
I like this.
Nah,
I like
it's
this.
borscht, man.
Like
I'm
the
gonna have
borscht is beef, isn't it?
I'm gonna have a different flavor every pod.
I like this. I
You
like
can't
this.
repeat any of them, too.
Oh,
Nope,
that's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
write.
tough.
I'm gonna
Yo,
write
if
them
y'all
down.
want to
Make a
mail us
list.
pudding or send us photos of your pudding, we're
Hey,
down.
that wouldn't be a bad idea. There you go.
Just anything but tapioca. Fuck that.
Tapioca is not a pudding. It's a tragedy. Anyways, to my immediate right, I have one of the other hairy dudes on the pod.
What up? It's your boy Rob the Noob. You can find me at Rob the Noob 1 because I am that one. All right, so we're ready to kick it off. Let's get it going.
Yeah, man, I got some things that may refer your rapidly dwindling faith in
In society as a whole.
well, in the U.S. government anyway, because we're always last to get on stuff, man. Yo, so as of a couple days ago, they finally outlawed your internet service provider from being able to charge you equipment fees for routers they didn't provide.
Thank God.
All right,
'cause-
so I know sometimes when the folks over at, what are they, Bright House now, or are they back to Bright House?
Spectrum.
Spectrum, there we go. They got to
Spectrum,
rebrand every couple of years to get rid of those horrible Yelp reviews.
Give us the bag.
Give us better internet. Don't give us the bag.
Nah,
Do your
fuck that.
goddamn job. That's what you need to do.
I require FiOS. Fuck that shit.
We can't even get FiOS out here. They got the monopoly on like the subdivision, bro.
God, one day.
But
One
anyways,
day.
man, so normally Bright House comes out to your house and they give you the router. FiOS comes out and they give you the router and they charge you the rental fee. Until recently, they were allowed to charge you if you used your own router. They would just slide that shit in your bill. So if you didn't know that this was possible, you should check your bill. Someone owes you some money.
There you go. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, whenever you mentioned that, I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, where does that break down at on the actual bill itself? And then, of course, Lana just comes out of nowhere. She goes, "Oh yeah, it's right there. It's itemized on this, and this." And I was like, "You would know. You, of course." Of
So
course you
what you guys are telling me is I used to pay an extra $30 a month to use my own Nighthawk.
$30?
I don't know. I'm,
was-
I,
it was-
I'm, making, I'm making up a number here.
I was like, yo, you need to shoot somebody up. Like,
Oh, yeah,
that's
Lebanon
a
Don
lot
got
of
that
dollars.
oil money. He was like $30, whatever, son, run it.
We got that Arab money.
Or how much were those charges?
On
usually?
average, like 15 is what I've seen. I know we were paying 15 for a router fee, but we were renting the router. 'Cause we
Yeah,
were
I mean
peons.
it is one of those things where it's like if you do own your own, I would say it's worth looking into for sure. If you're not available, if my thing is usually how it usually goes for us is how much does that shit cost this month? Okay, whatever, run it. You don't even think about it. Like, if you are renting one, then yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, other than that, it is one of those small things.
Yeah, feel good. At least that's one last thing they can't nickel and dime you for. You know what it is. We've got some fun stuff on the docket today, man. Talking about some random tech stuff. Talking about Rob with the Florida Man story of the week. Rob is in the hot seat this week with shit only Rob cares about.
You know it.
But first on the docket, we got my man D Truth, the professional, with some
show.
philosophical insight. Man, give us the goods.
Yeah, man. So you already know what this podcast is because you're listening to it. It's four nerds, one podcast. But what is a nerd?
Oh shit.
You know, what is a nerd? You know, and like, fuck y'all.
D-Truth the professional.
Out here, bro.
PhD.
Just fucking shit up, lickety split.
we call that the lampshade. But yeah,
Shakespeare would be
what
proud.
is a nerd? And I think nerd is definitely seen as something like kind of swaggy now, kind of like anime is kind of swaggy. All the
Hey.
nerd shit is kind of swaggy, but like
Yeah.
it certainly wasn't that, growing up. But even so, like there's so many different things that people can like nerd about. There's so many different communities, and like I've always like been a part of like nerd communities. Like I've gone to anime club, like I've been in bands. I'm an engineering major, so niggas do math and shit.
I think it's just an engineer now.
yeah. So it's like.
So what's the difference between a band geek and a band nerd?
Where you put the flute.
Exactly which orifice are we talking about? Where's it going? Nah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think the really cool thing is like we as nerds are taking it back because like early on in the years it had like the most negative connotation to it, where it's just like if you were a nerd, it was like what's funny is if you actually look up the actual Webster's definition. Nerd, the way that it's described is like that you are unattractive, unstylish, just completely. The only thing that you care about is intellectual properties, whatever that may consist of. That's it.
Nowadays, to show how far that's come, by the way, for fun juxtaposition, you can now get Pokemon pattern custom fitted button up shirts directly from the Pokemon company.
Because
So,
fuck yeah.
Wait, what?
Gen 1 starters only. Well, no, I think
I don't
think,
care.
No, I think you can get a.
My man just like rethought his whole
I think you can
wardrobe
get a
just now.
Chikorita. I think you can get a Chikorita actually. But yeah, it's a list. It's only like 5 or 6 Pokemon deep, but you can get like tessellated patterns of Pokemon on your button-up shirts, and they don't look like Pokemon immediately, so you
That's
lean into it. Which is
fire.
kinda
But
swaggy.
does that make you a nerd because you want that? Or like what makes you a nerd? That you like video games? That
Okay,
you
so
are
all
good
right.
at school?
So,
Like
so I feel how we can break down being a, I'm air quoting here, nerd, is that it depends on, so for me, how I justify it and what I think it is if you are completely passionate and also very, very, like, intellectually attuned to it. You have a lot of background information, side, front, back, future, past, all of that. If you can encompass something entirely, that you can say that you are a, air quotes again, nerd about that. because you have so much information behind.
So,
it.
think-
so does that mean that only experts are nerds?
Not
You know, 'cause then
necessarily.
you're gatekeeping, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's more you are willing to love your thing regardless of how people feel about you loving
Unapologetically.
your thing. Exactly. Lean into the shit. And like, yeah, when you're young and you're impressionable, people, oh, you're a nerd. Oh, I'm not a nerd. You know what I'm saying? But eventually everyone that stays nerdy grows out of that, you know, and I love anime. Me and the noob over here founded our high school's anime club. I was president of my anime club at college. You know what I'm saying? There's not shit you can say to me about my love of anime. Square up. You know what I'm saying? And like when you get to that point when you like something that is a little out of the mainstream or part of the counterculture, and you like that thing more than other people might feel is acceptable, and you're okay with that, I think that's when you start to garner that nerd title.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what about you, Don? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I've always felt like nerd was something that was, I guess, not necessarily cool-ish, but more like acceptable. But if you were a geek or a dweeb,
Dweeb.
Then-
No one ever wants to.
Which-
be.
I'm not
believe
taking
it-
the dweeb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, believe it or not, which are also like similarities of the branch off of nerd. If you're looking at the definition,
It's out here roasting people. You dweeb.
it's such a dated insult. Ah, shit.
But so I've had a complicated relationship with nerd because, like, you know, do you need a certain level of expertise, or do you need a level of passion, or, you know, what if it's like, oh man, you know that, well, Pikachu is cute, but I guess that's
Got
not
his
that's not enough to be a nerd. But you know, I've often found it difficult to be like, okay, what do I need to do for this to be a nerd? And I don't know. I'd be overthinking shit.
all right, D
That
Truth,
makes you a
question.
that makes D True a philosophy nerd.
There you go. Yeah,
Got his ass.
exactly. So, I mean, I would think collectively as a whole, I think we all say as long as we have enough, if you have enough balance in something with the knowledge and passion to go behind it, that makes you can call yourself a nerd. I would say.
All right. So, question, D Truth.
All right.
Why do you want to be a nerd?
Oh,
Because we're the coolest.
the
big dick energy.
Because they always said growing up, nerds make all the money when they grow up.
I mean,
Facts.
I do it for the. Well,
2
that's-
points lost.
2 points gained, yo.
Let that man live. Let that man live.
That was a joke. But I don't know if I've ever said I want to be a nerd. I just do things that people say are nerdy. I have those interests somewhat, but I've never called myself a nerd until I got on this podcast.
Because, like,
He's the newest of the nerds. No, but
right.
isn't that kind of to my point? You know, like you like things that other people may consider nerdy, and you like them to the extent in which it makes you happy, and that's the chief concern there. You know, and it might be some stuff that people aren't down on, or it might be some stuff that you care about way more than other people, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is how it makes D-Truth feel about whatever it is D-Truth is interested in, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I feel that's why I say I don't think it should fall upon expertise. Mostly just passion and intrigue, and if you can consider yourself going even further in that direction of whatever it is that you are passionate about, I mean, hell, you could say that you are a nerd about that. So I mean, it's a loose interpretation, but I contributed to just overall knowledge and passion.
and bouncing off your topic, Mr. Noob, is I would call
Mister.
I would call D Truth a music nerd because he's
Facts.
so passionate about music. So you're definitely a music nerd because you understand music, you know about it, its past and its future, and you're not really tied to one specific genre that you're like overall about. You know about music, whether it be rap, hip hop, R&B, country, pop, just you
That is
know
fact.
enough about it.
Point.
That is facts, because I remember seeing like just talking about it was some random like really well known jazz track, and I was just like, Yeah, apparently, like it's really complicated, that entire thing. And you sat down, like
Oh,
we sat
giant
there
steps, probably.
for
Yeah,
30
right.
yeah,
He explained the hell out of it.
for 30 minutes. You just went on an entire diatribe, unprompted, it was like you had it just queued
On
up as soon
deck.
as you said,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, actually, what if you just break down this, and this in a different key and change it?" And I was just like,
Or here's
wow.
this video that has impeached the president, the drum break that's in all
That
these
was
different
phenomenal. Bruh. And like, and I think to a point, what unites nerds isn't necessarily our love of the same things. Isn't necessarily the amount of passion we have in our things. To your points earlier, I almost think that the thing that unites nerds is our willingness to exist in this counterculture outside of the mainstream.
Yeah.
Right? The ability to exist in this space that says, come over here and hang out with us if people think the thing you think is weird.
And on top of that,
You know?
like it's also like I realized too in most communities, I should say, well, yeah, 90%, that there's even like an openness too. Like no matter who you are, where you come from, you are usually very welcome in that space.
There's some toxic
That's
nerds.
why I said wait. That's why I said 90. That's why I said 90. There's a select few who kind
Just
of
don't go
like,
on the internet.
Yeah.
ever.
What you
Don't go on the
mean?
internet. Don't be too attractive at your local board game shop.
But yeah, I think though, one of the occurring segments to wrap this up, I think that we should work on the definition of nerd, and as a For Nerds One podcast, we should offer to the world the perfect definition, and I think that this was a good step to figuring that out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And
All
it's
right, that's the
therapy.
thing.
And this podcast was therapy.
Rob is
Podcast therapy, baby. Nah,
Mr.
man,
Noob
we,
is definitely a word nerd because I've never heard of diatribe. So
Word
your
nerd.
lexicon is amazing right now.
lexicon is stupendous.
Thank you.
Out
Thank
here
you.
looking real salubrious.
Salubrious.
You remember that episode of Fresh Prince? Where Jazz couldn't stop using the word salubrious. Like every time he was in a scene, they was
That was
like, he went to court.
ridiculous.
He went to like court or something like that, and they were like, "You looking real salubrious."
I did not remember this
Oh,
episode.
man. Yo, we're gonna do a For Nerds rewatch of like the high points of Fresh Prince. So
There you go.
if you got something you want us to watch, definitely put them on the socials, and we'll see what's going on.
Most stuff.
Good points all around. There's a couple of things I want to point out here. A different topic slightly, man. We've noticed, and you know, with CES being this week and with E3 coming up and the general ramp up for games over the rest of the year being a thing, I kind of want to revisit some of the high points in the coming trends that we're seeing in gaming. You know, games as a service have been huge for the last couple of years, and they're only going to be more so as the future goes on. A lot of games are always online or built to be played always online. Even Need for Speed Heat is drop in, drop out online, that kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So I want to talk about some of our best MMORPG experiences, man. First up,
Oh, I saw that look. Just
I've never seen someone look so strung out.
you could just say just like, oh fuck.
Oh, yo, it smelled like ass.
Smelled like Teen Spirit and Cheeto dust.
Oh my God, Noob, talk to us. Tell us this MMO story, man.
All right, so I mean, gosh, I mean, for me, it was like, it's tough to describe. Is whenever we were going, when we went to FAMU, I was visiting and met a bunch of other rangers and everything else, and you know, what was it? John was going to class, right?
I think he would murder you if you called him John.
Oh, sorry. Jay was
Only
going
I
to
can
class.
do that.
Yeah, you
Love
gotta
you,
earn it.
love you, Blue. Yeah. So he was headed to class, and everybody else was dead ass asleep. So I'm by myself, just awake because that's how I operate. I'm a night owl. I'm up for too long for entirely, it's for no reason. Yeah. Who dat? So he was really into WoW at the time, and I'm pretty sure he's still kind of frequents it a little bit here and there, but he was leaving and he said, "Hey man, if you're still up, have you ever played WoW?" I said, "Nah, not really. I mean, I don't really get. I at the time wasn't big into PC games. A little here and there, not much. Anyway, Cut to him dropping the laptop in my lap, and I shit you not, he was gone for like a solid like 20 hours, and I was awake. Just in front of the laptop, all you hear, no sound other than my fingers hitting keys and hot buttons the entire time and clicking on a mouse. He came in, looked dead at me with the most quizzical look you could possibly have for another person, looked at me and he goes, "Have you slept?" And I was like, "What? What?" Like
8 Red Bulls deep.
like he surprised me. Like he caught me like halfway through a meth binge. I was like, "What? What?" Oh, okay,
Bruh, that reminds me
hang
of the Family Guy episode where Quagmire discovered online porn.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's got the one hand that's
The
super
one giant
jacked.
dude. Effectively, that's pretty much how it was, man. Because I went down the fucking rabbit hole for WoW, and I remember I was like, when he was looking at me, and he started walking towards me, like just kept walking towards me, and like just picks up the laptop. He goes, "I'm gonna take this now." I was
Rob is like clutching
wait,
it.
No, give it back. He goes, "I'm gonna need you to go to bed and just not touch this for the remainder
Did
of
you
the
shove
time."
a remote up your ass?
Oh my god.
It wasn't that serious, but holy shit.
So did you keep playing after that?
You know what? I think it was afterwards. I was like, all right, I probably shouldn't do that again. It's like
yeah.
trying heroin for the first time. It's like, this is probably a good idea.
See, he cites this story, but I think it's because he's a bitch.
It was
I'm
one-
calling it now.
like I think the only reason why I stopped playing was because the computer and laptop that I had was too trash to run it. So I kind of like got lucky there. It was like because I didn't want to put in the money to spend.
Didn't you have that like Republic of Gaming laptop? I guess that was back when ROG had just started.
No, that
though.
was years later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Love
right.
that fucking laptop. I miss that damn laptop. That shit was fire.
All right, Lebanon Don. You got anything for us?
Well, I guess now it's considered an MMO, but
Oh, man.
but ever since Destiny came out, man, have I been stuck on that. And I don't think I've ever been stuck on a game like I've been stuck on Destiny since Diablo 2.
Is your wallet very upset with you?
Not anymore. It's FTP, baby.
How it is.
Listen. My friend has my email linked up to his phone for whatever reason. I don't know why.
That's
So
creepy.
he'll get the random notifications at like 2:00 in the morning when I just buy Destiny Silver because I need to have a certain ornament.
Oh, you whore. Are you serious? You're a fucking silver junkie?
Oh,
You're
yes.
one of those people. See, this
Yes.
is why we had all this
Gross.
litigation about loot boxes. This legislature got passed.
You're the problem.
Gambling problem.
Real
the
talk though,
problem.
real
Stop
talk.
Get some help.
Like I swear to God, man, like Destiny was the biggest fucking content hustle I've ever seen in my entire life. Like I feel like other than like the loot box shit, Destiny was the only one where you were just getting fucking taxed every single time, even if you did buy the season pass.
Listen. All right. I bought the season pass. I'm just too lazy to wait for the free shit. I could earn it for free, or I can spend $5 and get it now. Instant gratification. I want my cake, and I'm going to eat it too. And my cake cost me $5.
Don, look me in the
So-
eye. You are part of the problem.
If you want to play devil's advocate, I mean, is it Lebanon Don's fault that he took the opportunity, or is it their fault that the opportunity's there?
Yes.
Yes, on both counts.
Yes, because listen, games now, it's like, all right, you got bread, meat, bottom bread. And then you have no other condiments, and they're going to
Dry
charge
ass burger.
Yes, they will charge you $10 for the lettuce, $10 tomato, $10 cheese.
25 cents.
They're
a
going to
squirt
give
for the
you
ketchup.
such a base game and then add in everything else. And I think that's where the operating model is headed now is, all right, we're going to drop this base game, barely give you any content, and now we're going to charge you every step of the way.
And this is why y'all are gonna hate me for this, right? But I've been in this exact bag forever, and that's almost why 90% of the reason why the only like MMOs I run are like JRPGs. Final Fantasy 14 was so bad when they released it, trying to do the 1 squirt per quarter
Oh, they nuked-
nonsense.
Yeah,
they nuked
they
the
nuked-
in-game universe.
Yeah.
Like in-game, like the universe was destroyed
Oh
at
my
one point,
God.
and then the new one's back, and it's like part of the story. And they fixed all of the problems. Final Fantasy 14 is probably the best, second best maybe MMO I've ever played. And like they just ran, like I'm playing again now. I just got back on.
Damn.
They ran 5 free days if you had like an account at one point, so you can come back. And they got my ass. I'm about to copy.
Oh, they
bro.
really did.
They got
Got
me.
him.
I'm not even done with the 5 days. I get paid Friday. They're getting the money, bro.
Yeah, like I say, all it took was a friend of ours to be streaming it. Next thing you know, you got the next thing you know, I saw you on there. And you
Oh yeah, I was like, well, I can download. I have this game. Oh fuck, you got me.
Got him.
Is you talking about on Final Fantasy 14? Come see me. Give me some. I'm only level. I'm a
Square,
level 10.
secure the bag.
I'm only level 10. If y'all want to come gift the Lancer, you know what I'm saying?
Give us the bag.
Give us
Come
the
on,
bag.
Square.
All the bag.
So yo, D Truth here. So does Pokemon Go count?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Pokemon Go is better than all of these. So at least you got some exercise.
Facts.
No, I burned some gas driving. Well, no.
Whoa, whoa.
No,
What,
listen.
sir?
Listen.
No,
The insurance adjuster in me.
No, so me when it comes to like MMOs, like, you know, I know that people get into the bag that Noob got in, and I try to keep myself away from those things because I have a really addictive personality. So like, I will purposely not buy ice cream because I know I'm gonna eat it all in one sitting. I'm gonna not play the MMO because I know I'm gonna get addicted. But like,
Gotcha.
but Pokemon Go, it came out, you know, we all got hyped like, oh man, this is gonna be what Pokemon should have been, and you know, it was cool, but
It really wasn't,
It
though.
wasn't.
It was not.
you know, but what I will say is that I joined like a Facebook group for this.
Oh, shit.
And like when they came out with the raids and like everybody was meeting up at like random churches or like buildings I
Right.
didn't know existed in the city.
Run up in your coffee shop.
And I was like, who are these people? It was like, oh yeah, you know, we're waiting here, you know, for the next fucking Raikou or whatever the fuck we were beating up.
God.
And I thought that it
Beating
was
up
so
Pokemon.
it was so cool. Like I only got to maybe like level 12 or whatever, but it was fun times and I met some randos.
Oh, I pissed my cousin off one time. We were in California and I'm like, all right, hey, there was this really cool scene. I was like, let's just do a photo shoot. So I'm sitting there taking photos. All of a sudden, like 7 people show up and like, what's going on here? Oh, there's Lugia. I immediately give her my phone. It was like, all right, I need your portable charger because I'm not about to miss this.
You know, can't do it. You had to be prepared. I swear, between world peace, the closest we ever came to world peace was that first couple weeks Pokemon Go came out.
most
And the
active
most
anybody was.
prepared we've ever seen America as a populace was when Pokemon Go came out. Cats had water, sunscreen, pepper spray,
Actual running shoes. Oh,
mace.
Pepper spray for sure. Especially
I rode
cats
around
getting
in a
robbed.
van with randoms. Team Mystic.
That's how you get killed. Oh, hey, what team are we real quick before we
Team
hop on
Mystic.
something else? Team Mystic, what's up?
Valor.
Instinct.
Hey, Team Instinct. Wait,
Hey.
we're on the same
Oh,
team?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have pegged you for an Instinct guy. All right, you know what it is.
All day.
Everybody trust that
You would've
instincts.
pegged him?
I wouldn't have pegged him at all. He's not my type. Anyways,
You're right. I'm too pretty.
we'll talk about that at another point. Speaking of,
I like how you just had to try to bypass that shit entirely.
You can't escape the peg.
Nope. We have broken Izzy. He is now just Takamono. Just
What up, Takamoto? The peg comes for us all.
we're clearly
does that mean in universe I caught the peg? What is this?
Four
clearly
nerds,
being into this.
one
now.
peg.
The peg.
Hey, Takamono,
comes
top
for
or
us
bottom?
all.
Which one are you?
I am Skipper Topper Bottoms, first mate of the SS Rough Sail,
This was a topic.
dispenser of rough
Oh
trade.
god. Okay. All right. Let's try and keep it moving.
That was a topic.
All right,
That was a
dude,
topic.
what's good?
We definitely went that.
Holy shit, went off the rails. Okay, y'all. So, it's my favorite segment. It is Florida Man of the Week, y'all.
Flauda.
All right.
Loud. They calling me.
Flow Rider.
Florida. Florida.
Georgia,
Yeah, right.
Georgia going beef.
All right, y'all. So it is Florida Man of the Week. All right, so this topic for today, it's going to be a Florida man arrested after allegedly lying to bypass presidential security at a Palm Beach airport.
White.
You didn't even wait.
Doesn't matter.
Didn't even wait. Just
Doesn't
leaned into it. White.
Listen,
I've never
listen.
heard so much WH in my life.
I know that's at Palm Beach, but I'm going to triple down and say he's got ancestors in Polk County.
They had to mail him down there.
Yo, Polk County
says-
gonna
it
fuck
said-
Lebanon.
Dude, I seriously, all you're gonna hear is somebody just going, "Run it, Polk County!" What? Da 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 da. Oh shit, they shooting.
If I get shot in America, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Can you repeat the headline? Just one
All
more
right, so just since you got off track there, so it says Florida man arrested after allegedly lying to bypass presidential security at Palm Beach Airport. Yeah. All right, so the story goes: 37-year-old Naples, Florida man was arrested Sunday after allegedly lying about being an active Marine Corps member to gain access to Palm Beach International
But they
Airport
mad white.
prior to President Donald Trump's departure, the report said. Brandon Mark Magnan, oh, that's white as fuck.
That's tapioca pudding white, bro.
and I can say that. Who was dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Marine Corps. Oh,
How? You know how hard that is?
yeah. I mean,
I'll take the good ones.
all I gotta say is, did you throw away your crayons when you were supposed to eat them? I mean, what you do? Oh no! All right, but basically,
One of us is a veteran. I'll let you guys pick which.
But
Who's racist?
so it says U.S. Marine required to register as a he's registered as a sex offender, was arrested after federal officials said he lied to get past presidential security checkpoints at the airport about an hour before Trump's flight departed.
I want to know what was the lie.
What was the goal?
It says Megan allegedly passed 2 security checkpoints.
Did he lie about being a Marine, or did he not lie about being
Well,
a
no,
sex offender?
yeah. But checkpoints typically manned by the U.S. Secret Service and Palm County Beach Sheriff's deputies. Newspaper reported he drove through the checkpoints with an unnamed male passenger, according to a complaint filed in federal court. Let's see. God damn, this guy is fucking stupid. This is just getting ridiculous. He identified himself as a member of the Marine Corps Helicopter Squadron.
Which one? The
Ju-
one?
It just says the one.
So he's probably trying to be on Marine Force One then.
But Jesus Christ,
Could you
this
imagine that? You just look up and there's
Right?
some dude not in
is
uniform.
fucking crazy.
It just shows up like, yo, I'm in the Space Force. What's good?
And,
Well, the Space Force is out of Melbourne, so
apparently this retard presented deputies with credentials with Marine Corps SEALs and everything.
But
So,
like,
wait,
who has that stuff on them?
Is he a Marine or he's not a Marine?
So
No,
he-
apparently he wasn't a Marine at
So
all.
he was dishonorably discharged and was a registered sex offender.
I wonder if that was at the same time where the Marine Force was like, the Marine Corps was like, okay, this one's good, but you can't do anything else. He did something else.
So he like was a Marine.
Be
That's
like,
not
so,
the worst
so,
lie.
so the DUIs, the assaults, everything else, all this shit. No. Well, I mean, look,
From now on, you
from
can't
now
fuck up
on,
anymore.
just that asshole. But everybody else, pass. Run them through.
That's funny. As shit.
Loud.
But
Loud. They calling.
yeah, but basically after gaining access to Atlantic Aviation, sheriff's deputy asked to see his credentials after noticing he wasn't wearing a Marine Corps uniform. Standard practice for meeting a president.
Noticing.
Yeah. What gave it away? Was it the dirty ass fucking Krabby Bills T-shirt that he had on? I mean, like, what the fuck is going on?
See, it don't get no whiter.
Just it's standard practice for meeting president under circumstances. Yada yada yada. I'm just too aggravated to finish this. Fuck this. This is just retarded. Honestly, dude.
Now that Rob.
This dude looks like a fucking thumb too. Like, you see that? Like, look at that photo. The man, like the top of his head looks like fucked up. Like someone had a pair of shears to cut his head, and dude looks like a thumb.
Yo,
You remember the Spy Kids movie?
The thumbs.
You remember there's something about Mary the Frank and Beans dude?
God.
Listen, Rob, you really want to see some fucked up people? Go on that sex offender website and type in your address and look at those.
A picture of Noob.
Shut the fuck.
It sounded like it was the hardest roast.
That is just horrible.
Don was about to roast you and then pulled the punch. Is what it was. He felt
yeah.
bad. He didn't get the shoulder all the way around to follow through.
You know, he just canceled it to set up for later.
No. I'm not saying this.
Combo cancel.
I am
Friend
not
cancel.
saying Noob is a sex offender. What I'm saying is I've been
if
on
you
that
type his name on the
website.
website and you'll see him.
No, not name, address. To see who's around you. I've done that. It is
Dude, that is
scary.
fucking terrifying.
Sounds
I
like
could
nightmare
not do
fuel.
that. All right, so now we're kind of just, I guess I might as well just stay on this shit. Just fuck it, I'll just stay here. So on to the next one. We're going to be celebrating only something that I give a shit about, which is UFC fighter of the decade.
I do not give one iota of a fuck. I guess it is why shit only Rob cares about.
I mean, it pretty much is, dog. I mean, it's all right. So I'm gonna
I
let
care a
y'all
little bit. I ain't gonna front.
go. Let's go around the room.
But I
real
don't think
quick.
it's counter.
Ooh.
Okay, I like how you just steal my thunder.
Oh
you
shit!
fucking
Fuck!
wow.
steal my thunder.
Wow.
you shit.
That was awful.
Last time I let you fucking read the goddamn subjects.
Hey,
Cut.
this is our third pod. We're still working on it.
We're buffing out the kinks.
Oh my
no, just edit it up.
I think you mean ironing out the kinks. So like,
I said buff. This is armor, baby.
Edit man, can we cut this later in post?
yeah.
Oh shit!
Nah, fuck it. We may let it ride. We'll
Fuck
see.
it. We'll do it live.
All right,
Play us out.
so for me, it's gonna be UFC fighter of the decade would definitely be Conor McGregor.
Of course.
So-
you Irish man.
I go, hey, I
You
gotta
Irishman.
I gotta support my brother. So
You got to do the rest of this in that accent.
I don't want to do that.
You gotta.
I think that'd be fun.
We'll give you an extra
I mean, it's not
3
like he's
minutes
not
of
Irish.
time.
Do we really want to do that? All right.
I mean, it's not like he's not Irish. If I
Yes.
did it, it'd be fucked
So
up.
the king of Dublin, Conor McGregor, is a surefire. No, I'm not gonna do that.
No.
I'm not
Give
gonna
it
do
back
that.
now.
I'm not gonna do that. No, we're not gonna do that. So Conor McGregor, God, I fucking you assholes.
He can't turn it off now.
I'm gonna fucking. I'm not gonna bite my tongue a little bit. American.
This is America.
America.
All right, so Conor McGregor, motherfucker, is
That
a
is so
surefire fighter
Conor
of the
McGregor.
decade. By far, fighter of the decade candidate. Not only because of his work inside the octagon, because of his ability to transcend the sport outside of it.
Okay.
To what? Getting the-
Period.
He did fight Floyd for a money grab.
Do you know why he's not the fighter of the decade?
Or UFC fighter.
I'm listening.
because my dick
He
is.
makes the worst whiskey.
Oh,
You can't be from Ireland and make the worst whiskey ever and want any awards. Now you got to go back home, try it again next decade.
First of all,
know,
Irish
I
whiskey
remember
isn't even that good. Sorry, Rob.
I will stab you, sir.
Listen. I will take beer. I will take some good Guinness, but I'm not taking whiskey.
Are you fucking with me right now?
Yes.
Jameson, nothing.
Yeah.
Not really.
Nope.
Macmillan, nothing. No.
Give me that good old Jim Beam.
McAllen?
What? Yeah, that's what I said.
If you don't get the
Nah.
barbecue,
Nah,
Listen to this guy. You know what? Nah. Your argument's invalid. You like shit whiskey.
I will say.
I don't even like whiskey in
I will say,
general.
I
I'm
got-
just
I
fronting
gotta-
for the pod.
And not even good bourbon on top of that. Just to,
Yeah.
I've got my blue hat on.
I have a little bit of a better argument, for why Connor's not the fighter of the year. Like and Connor or UFC fighter of the year. Connor's dope. I love Connor. And everything that you said, I can't hate on. But John Bones Jones,
okay, listen.
didn't he get caught for like doping a bunch?
he did
A lot.
But fuck it.
A lot. Oh, you fucking asshole. I like how you just try to steal. Not only do you steal my shine opening the subject, but on top of that, you also try to fucking outshine me on a fighter. Get the fuck out of here, sir. This is my segment, bitch. All right.
Well, I just happened to
So
care.
Noob versus D-Truth, the
I just
professional
happened to
MMA
care.
fight
I'm sorry. I
MMA
didn't know that.
fight.
Square up, son.
in the
But
octagon.
But seriously, like what drugs did he get popped for? Like I heard he was
All
like
the fun
doing
ones.
cocaine and like.
So hang on.
you know.
So not only was it the fun stuff in between, but it was also the clearly, obviously cheating shit on top of that. We're talking about PEDs, everything else. So I can't say Jones. I can't. There's too much of the bullshit of the doping and everything else. At least with Connor. So granted, the dude is an asshole. He can be an asshole. He sells the fucking fights. His personal life is kind of a mess. You can say what you want about the whiskey or whatever the fuck. That's a minor thing. But that's that's the dude just trying to make his money at the end of the day. My main thing is he draws a crowd every single time. Every single time this man fights, it's fucking money. Every single time he fights, eyes are going to be watching that. The
that's true.
pay-per-views are going to be out the fucking door. We're bringing even people from fucking watching boxing because of the Floyd Mayweather thing over to UFC and watching that on top of that. You got guys who are coming from different organizations all over the place because of this man. Whether it be the drama, because he's a good fighter, whatever. The man draws a crowd. He brings it
That's
in.
true. That's true. I fuck with Connor.
He's a gracious loser. I will say that. The times I've seen him lose, and he's like, "Hey, man, the other guy just kicked my ass. Like, what do you want me to do about it?"
So the main thing that I feel like people like kind of like miss. All right, so some beefs are legit, some are legit, but other than that, I mean, like, dude, he's selling a fight. At the end of the day, when you fight somebody, the fight is over. You guys are getting paid. It's done. Whether you win, lose, you guys dap it up. Unless you hate each other, you dap it up, and you just say,
in the parking lot.
and you just say, "Good fight. Glad we came in. You're a good man. You're a good man." And you guys part ways. That's it.
Yeah.
Period. That's just how it is in the fight.
No, Connor is the man. I like it.
No doubt.
I like it. I'm sorry. I just happen to care about it. I didn't know.
What are the odds?
I was a little too passionate, you know, but fuck that shit.
I ain't mad at Connor. That's a good pick.
All right.
All right. Let us know on the socials if you happen to think Conor McGregor is the UFC fighter of the decade. We'll throw some polls. Right now, it's Conor McGregor versus my man John Bones Jones.
That's
I'm
a
not a
whack
UFC
nickname.
fighter. It's a whack ass nickname, but it was really fun to say. If you have anything else we should add to the poll, let us know. We'll throw it up there. We'll see what it is, and we'll revisit it periodically, man. All right, so on this one, this is a fun one. This one comes from my man, my mellow, the beardiest beard that ever bearded. Lebanon Don, what's going on, man?
Boom, Lebanon Don. Lebanon Don.
Anybody else flinch?
Leaning into the
I flinched.
stereotype.
I flinched a little bit.
Lebanon Don coming in with a bomb of a topic.
Oh!
We got the biggest non-villain movie asshole.
All right.
Talk to me about that one. Let's get a little elaboration here so
Okay.
everybody
Yeah.
understands
Yeah,
that.
what
expand on that.
qualifies?
Basically, you cannot be the central villain.
Okay.
So because that automatically sort of makes you a jerk in people's eyes, you got to be someone who could be the good guy or just a supporting character. For me, my person is Goku.
Worst dad in history. Talk to us about it.
No, 100%.
Listen, no,
Well,
not
I mean, you gotta. All right. So this is gonna be good. Because,
No, I like it.
All right. I'm liking this.
Goku
already.
is, to me, one of the biggest non-villain assholes because not only is he, one, a terrible father, but two, he will let the evil person heal up and get stronger to just come back and attack him. Like,
Come
yo,
on, get in there.
No, he will.
Sensor
No, he will heal them. He will heal them.
Hey, so I'll take this sensor beam.
he willingly let Frieza heal back before he even turned Super Saiyan. He let Frieza heal, go off, and then come back. It's like, yo, I like you. I want to fight you stronger. Go become stronger.
I mean that. I mean like that. I mean.
Let me get some energy. I don't have any more energy.
I mean, but does that make him an asshole though? Because he wants to fight somebody at their peak.
yes,
People are dying. He destroyed Namek.
Worlds are at stake. But this man's pride, like, I want to challenge.
I don't know.
the only time I will recognize that is they actually like, all right, You know what? I don't want to let Kid Boo become stronger. Let's move him to an indestructible planet.
That's fine, man. I don't know. Like Goku is a really good candidate, bro. Every time this comes up, I always think of the scene in the Cell Games fight. And if you're not watching Team 4-Star, definitely give them a watch. Like the Team 4-Star version of the Cell fight is
they don't
better
even
than
have to give us the
better than actual Z. No, they deserve all of the plug. Right?
Definitely.
Oh my goodness. Yo, Gohan, your turn. I'm giving up. What? Take the Senzu bean. What?
Yeah.
Bye. No.
You know, and it's just like, yeah, you're too good. You're so good that you're an asshole. It's like, fuck the planet, fuck everything. Like, nah, you can't do that.
I mean,
you can't do that, Goku.
he's like, oh, hey, Broly, you're cool. All right. Oh, you killed people? I don't care about that. I just want to fight you.
It's not my problem. I'm not the police.
Yeah,
Goku,
I mean,
the
like,
anti-hero.
gosh, because like,
Ooh. Goku Black? No. Goku Black was just regular Goku.
shit.
All right.
Where he just goes, it's not black.
Noob, what you got, man? What you got?
I mean, all right. So for me, it was, this might be a little too niche for you guys. Anybody watch the movie Filth?
No.
I've seen Joe Dirt.
Same movie.
No, not even.
I've seen Joe Dirt.
God damn it! All right, so
Fill us in.
for me, it was definitely the character in Filth for sure. Remember his name for the life of me. But
Here are some filler words to fill in for Mr. Noob. Words. Filler.
We call
Hot.
these Slim Shades.
so it's so the character name is Bruce Robertson, and basically he's a cop who's off his fucking nut. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched like True Detectives, but you know how like some of those guys get like crazy drunk, get a little loose, do a little drugs, shit gets a little wild. Basically, that's all of this, but it's just British. And the entire fucking thing is just a fucking shit show. Like, you go from top to bottom from, like, the mixture of, like, corruption to, like, they touch on his home life briefly. They say, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to the home to the wife and kids. Not knowing that the wife and kids left fucking forever ago. And then in between that of hallucinations and everything else because he's gacked out on fucking drugs.
So my question is he the good guy in this movie?
So technically he is the protagonist for this entire
But
thing.
protagonist does not mean good guy. Is there a bad guy in the movie that's not him?
Protagonist doesn't mean good guy?
No, protagonist just means person the action follows.
Yeah, so I mean, like as far as it goes,
If you watched a movie about a villain, the villain would be the protagonist, even if he was trying to like destroy the Earth, and the antagonist or whoever they were would be the thing trying to stop.
So he's
the protagonist.
Yeah,
from
so
doing the
so
thing.
basically,
That's
so I'm just gonna say, I mean, my main thing is I love how James McAvoy portrayed him, and for those of you who don't know who that is, Professor X, from all
Professor
the
X.
X-Men's, all that other
Split.
shit. Split.
That's
you know.
Patricia. What you talking about?
Yo, facts. We should only refer to my man as Patricia, dog.
Patricia.
That shit was great. The shoulder shrug, the shawl. Oh my goodness.
But like, the main thing is just like it is a show of a downward spiral, just continuously all the way down, and then it's kind of redeeming a little bit too because you sort of end up feeling bad for him because his life is in such a fucking disarray, So my main thing is like you kind of like go into it trying to like him, hating him, and then eventually circling back to liking him again as things kind of start to fall apart a little bit.
But is he an asshole?
Asshole.
Oh, is he an
Guy.
asshole? So that
Nah, he's cool.
that goes without saying. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen like the trailer to it, but the whole thing was like he like took this kid's balloon, like popped it, and then flipped them double birds.
Oh, damn.
That's the bar we're setting.
Like
All right.
that is I mean, like that's
I've done that.
if you flip off a little kid, like
Fuck
like,
that kid.
How old was he, though?
I mean, if I had to guess,
like
just by,
7?
just
So
by
he
looking
just
at
sounds
him,
like every Eagles fan known to man.
oh, shots fired for
Eagles
Philly.
give
Polk
us the
County
bag.
and Philadelphia.
But basically, so the kid's like about 8-ish.
Old enough to think that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, like that kind of sets the tone. Like, if you're willing to flip off a little kid, and everything else, amongst you do like railing lines off of prostitutes' ass and
I've
fucking.
always wanted to reel a line off a butt cheek.
Yeah, well, it's fun. It's fun. I'm not gonna touch on that.
Hey, Lebanon,
Someone who's done it.
Lebanon Donette, wherever you are listening to this, I will do a line off your butt cheek.
Little Miss Lebanon.
Was this
Lebanon
this
Donette,
content?
yes.
This is
Content.
content. Yeah, we can blur out. We can blur out the important bits.
Yeah, beep.
We can blur out the important bits. All right, man. I'm gonna jump in. We're just gonna have Don face all
Oh my god.
out here looking like Santa Claus, powdered beard, bro.
All right, so
Is that confectionery sugar? Well, it's a kind of sugar.
yeah.
Listen, also, fuck you all for yelling at me for the Philly fan comment. They booed Santa Claus.
Fuck Santa Claus.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
No,
I am
fuck
too
Santa
black
Claus.
for the concept of Santa Claus. You don't want these Santa Claus
don't
bars.
celebrate Kwanzaa? What
Motherfuckers
you
out here
mean?
watching me sneaking into my fucking house. Santa Claus missed us out here.
You gonna pay
What you
owe?
Dear Santa,
All right.
you's a
You's a
bitch, nigga. Wait. You's a bitch
ass.
ass nigga.
All right,
Aaron
Izzy,
McGrew, give
who's
us
your
the back.
asshole then?
Batman.
What?
Fuck him.
Okay. hang on.
Square up.
Wait.
Also, Chancellor Rex, if you hear this, I love you, Batman.
So wait. Hang on. Are we speaking about just Batman as in Batman? Or are we talking Bruce Wayne too?
The whole business. I know they've never been in the same room at the same time.
the whole-
So some people might believe they're separate people, but I have reason to believe they're the same guy.
The whole entity. All right, you're gonna need to explain that shit.
I'm gonna give you one example.
Okay.
One, right? Not only is Batman an ass, but he's self-centered, and he's using the lives of the people in Gotham in order to work through his own trauma. Which cool, I guess, because you got to smash Talia al Ghul and make Damian Wayne or whatever. But like,
Clap them cheeks.
do better.
Even if it kills you.
All right, man. Look,
Twice.
the whole point. I'm gonna pick the worst Batman movie too, just to illustrate my point.
no, you're
Because the
not.
nipples of justice are always hard.
Oh, you son
Batman
of a
Forever.
bitch.
Mr. Freeze, Victor Fries, right? Genius, damn near Nobel laureate, on the verge of effective immortality,
Uh-huh.
right? Only reason man is out here committing crimes is because he needs money to continue his research, to thaw out his cryogenically preserved wife, and then heal the disease she has, which other people get. She's not the only person that has this. There's like
Okay,
they're
alright.
in like there are people in the Gotham General Hospital ward that have died from this shit. So it's an
Yeah.
actual problem.
I mean,
Batman knew this.
Yes, Batman. Not only does Batman know this, Batman uses Vic Fries' wife as like bait to capture him, right? So not only is he an asshole for that, but this fucker owns Wayne Enterprises. This bitch is almost as rich as Tony Stark. Give the fucker a job. Put his ass in there next to Lucius Fox. Hey, man, how about this? You don't kill anybody, commit any more crimes. You got to run all your expenditures past my team. But, figure it out. I'll be back in a week. Like, you could have eradicated an entire goddamn disease, figured out cryogenic freezing and unfreezing, and probably gotten rid of every other disease on Earth if he would have been like, hey, man, you look hungry.
I mean, wait,
You
hang
need
on.
some employment. Like,
There are
so wait.
two reasons why all of your points are completely invalid.
hit me.
I'm Batman.
Motherfucker. Did you really just stop the whole process just to do that?
I hate you so much.
Don, this is
Martha!
But no, I was thinking that one way that it would be invalid if Bruce Wayne just didn't think that he was that smart, or his approach, to
Yeah.
his science
There could-
wasn't good enough. Maybe
Yeah.
he looked at the
Bruce
literature.
have a freeze ray?
Well, he don't.
Because you can't deny the science, right? You've seen it work. You're an engineer. You know about super cooled items.
so
we can have hover trains.
What I am not discussing what I feel about Mr. Freeze's research, but I'm just saying
Tap,
that
tap, tap. I can see you tap dancing.
no, I'm
Give it a
just
tap, give it a
saying that
tap.
if Bruce Wayne was like, I'm gonna look at this research and I'm gonna read his papers, I'm gonna look over the literature, and he'd be like, Nah, I don't think that that's where
But we don't
my
ever-
money should go.
but we
even
don't
though
ever
I have
have any-
unlimited money.
But we don't ever have any instances of that though. That's the hang up, right? It's not like if that happened in the comic, that'd be hilarious,
that would be
right?
great.
But like you could still like, there's no arguing that Victor Freeze is smart enough to get the job done, right? Like even if his science was bad,
His approach was bad.
If Batman was like, "Yo, dog, I know you're out here doing this, but I solved your problem. If you want to take this home and
Yeah.
defrost your wife," he would have stopped committing crimes immediately. Oh shit! Well, I'm gonna go put my wife in the microwave and I'll do the smashing I was gonna do this whole time and call it even. I got 32 years of smashing.
About to de-thaw that vagina.
That's where I'm starting.
Does it? I ain't gonna say that.
Is it better cold?
Is
You
it
gotta
better
stick the probe in somewhere.
Because it like
Just watch it steam up.
contracts.
You should rip your shit off. Yeah, that actually happens in a scene in The Boys. Do you guys remember that?
Yes, I do.
You guys remember that? There's a no spoilers on this one, but there's a superhero counseling group, and it's about things that superheroes have done to people, even on accident. And this dude was like, "Yeah, man, I was hooking up this superhero. It was great. Like when she came, she like had ice powers. She froze and snapped my dick off in her." And then laughed at me. Wait, she wins. I don't know who that person is, but that person wins.
All day. All right. So what about you, D? What's
right.
who's your unintentional asshole?
Okay. And
Intentional asshole, Batman.
I don't think that this was unintentional. But this is actually probably the most intentional that you. It's actually so intentional. Like all right, it's Maui from Moana, right?
You're welcome.
And so yeah.
Okay.
And so
Lebanon Don spirit animal.
the whole shit starts off like they're on this island and everything is good, but Maui, he's like this demigod guy. He's like, "Yo, let me go steal the heart, of Tafiti because I want to get super powerful." And he steals the heart and it brings like destruction and calamity and bad crops and shit, to the whole fucking shit, right? And so he causes all the problems, and then he's like, "Yo, oh shit,
Oh.
yep." So he causes all the problems and shit, right? And pretty much, so he's got to go like put the heart back, and then he meets up with Moana, and then they go put the heart back, and then he becomes a good guy, but he's so reluctant, And
I mean, Maui. I mean, I feel like that's expressed pretty decently though. Maui's kind of a cunt.
He definitely is a cunt, but he's not the villain, Well, actually, damn. No, he just might be the villain.
It would appear that D True Professional is rethinking his art.
One of those literature classes in college.
No, this is true because like the villain, was Taka, who's really just
Tafiti, but I'm mad.
Pretty
fucked
much.
up. No, he's a villain. No, he's just an asshole.
There are several videos.
like he basically is dead ass the reason why all the shit's fucked up. He basically is the villain. He
Are
might not
y'all
come out and
just
say it.
noticing this? This is literally the point of the movie.
No, it was whenever
Well,
no, it was
well-
until he said that I was
well,
like, where is he
like-
going
But
with
so you
this?
literally just noticed that. That was my
well,
question.
no,
knew that the whole
obviously
time.
that's the movie, but like I don't know, like in movie land, would you consider him the villain or he's like the good guy?
He's a villain upon villains. Come on.
Maybe he's trying. Maybe he's like a it's a redemption story, I suppose. But he's still the dead ass. The
He's
reason why all this
certainly
shit happened.
He's certainly the cause for all of the bad action, but we might need to like look up the definition of a villain, because like,
No, I don't need to because he is.
It's blatantly obvious.
He is the cause,
Fuck
the
you
effect,
mean?
the before and after.
The alpha, the omega.
I mean, all I'm saying is you don't get
so
this
villains are bad guys.
No,
I mean,
villains aren't necessarily
Yeah.
bad guys.
Well, because you have different words, right? You've
And-
got protagonist, antagonist, you've got villain, and you've got foil.
Correct.
Right? So I think a lot of people who think of the villain space where a villain isn't really a villain, they're just opposing someone else. That's more foil than it is
Right.
villain, yeah?
And
Yeah.
and I don't think that he knew all that shit was gonna happen.
But once it did, he was aware of why and decided not to do shit about it.
Yeah, I think that
Out
was
here
the one thing that kind
Batman.
of bothered me the most. He was just like, it's like, oh, shit's on fire. Well, I'm gonna head out then, I guess.
SpongeBob would be proud.
He literally just dipped the fuck out and was just like,
Oh no,
eh,
that's Wong. That's not SpongeBob. That's
shit,
Wong.
shit. I guess shit's bad. Oh well.
You said that's Wong from
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all out here fighting who? Oh, that's crazy.
Oh nah. That's an asshole. That's asshole-ish right
yeah.
there.
You know,
But he knew he didn't have the body weight, bro. He didn't have to get his weight up. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't prepared.
Oh god.
it's
So-
not like he put it's not like he put the Avengers in the bad situation. It was like, all right, I'm leaving. No, he knew he couldn't do anything, so it's like, all right, you guys got this. I'm just not trying to die.
Could you imagine that magical phone call? Yo. Oh my God! We need everybody. We're good to have some here. Hey man, I'm getting real bad reception out here. This is magic. I can see you. Nah, man.
What's that? Think you're going through a tunnel. What tunnel? What?
This is quantum tunneling. I can see. Oh my God. Strange steps through a portal. Just looking at you, looking at him. Like,
This is a figment of your imagination.
all right.
I'm not here.
Fake magic. He's doing the thumb thing. Nah, 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 nah. Oh my God, dude. All right. So who wins? Who wins? Out of the four, if you had to vote.
Honestly, is anybody else kind of leaning towards Maui to be the biggest movie asshole? Because
Well, I think if you
Out of the four?
if you put in villain, I guess we're saying he's a villain. I don't know if he's a villain. You know,
Kinda.
so maybe he's disqualified.
All right, curveball. A new player has entered the game.
Challenger approaching.
Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Oh.
Janae.
Not see now if we're going by villain, like no,
anybody
she's a villain.
else get like?
No, she's a villain. She's a villain.
She's not really a villain, but she did give him AIDS. So if that's not the
That's-
biggest asshole
I
ever,
mean,
I always forget about that.
yeah. You know what's weird is I literally forgot about that too until
No,
you
that-
said that. And I was like, she did
Did give my man AIDS. Anyone who gives anybody AIDS,
Yeah.
by surprise.
When she got AIDS,
Prep.
when she, I'm not, honestly, man. Honestly, man, when she got AIDS, all I
Four
could-
Nerds One Podcast advocates safe sex. And always be honest with your status.
safe
with your
sex
partner.
is great sex. Better wear a latex.
Ooh,
Word.
so you don't get that late
bars.
sex.
All I gotta say is anybody else feel relief whenever she got AIDS because you're just like, yeah, that bitch got hers.
Yeah, no, she's just a villain, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
that's
know
fair.
She's a
the
bad guy.
Yeah.
All right, fine then. A second new player has
Oh.
entered the game.
Oh God. Okay.
Jim Halpert from The Office.
Jim is the bad guy. Jim is not only a bad guy,
Yeah.
But he's
Jim
not
is
an
a
asshole.
sociopath.
Well, no, he's definitely
Chief
an asshole.
But Jim is a
I support it.
sociopath. Could you imagine that shit, dude?
Scary.
Imagine being Dwight, bro. You show up to your 9-5. You only make like 42 a year. Your job's in sales, so you
Yeah.
have to do your job every day. You can't phone it in. And every day you show up to work,
And my stuff is in
some
Jell-O.
cunt has spent their entire waking life outside of work thinking of ways to torment you, and then can't take it. Have you noticed that, Chip?
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
In
Oh,
the
yeah.
instances where like Jim gets his or Dwight whips a snowball at him, he wants the bitch. Oh my God, a snowball! Ah." Meanwhile, this fucker has like, did he learn Cantonese or Mandarin in an episode?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think, is it Wisecrack or is it Cracked? Somebody has a video on how much Jim's pranks cost, and it's the best. We'll link to it in the comments.
yeah, they do border on like just outrageous.
I think the number was like somewhere like in the $100,000 range, like over
He
the course.
hired
of the
another person to pretend to be him. Asian
I
Jim.
know.
Yeah.
Asian Jim was my
Fucking-
favorite
it
prank
was
too.
great.
My absolute favorite prank.
My-
Because homegirl was like, yeah, this is definitely Jim. Like they kiss and shit, and it's fine. Like
My favorite prank, it doesn't have to do with Dwight, but it's where he puts Andy's cell phone in the ceiling.
God,
oh my goodness,
good
dude.
times. Office related things. Gotta love it. All right, so definitely where we headed to next on this?
All right, man. So at this point, At this point, we're square, bro. I think we wrapped it all.
No.
I think we
Holy
wrapped-
shit!
I
This
think-
is the first episode we've done under an hour.
Well, it's not really under an hour, guys. So what we're gonna do this week, we decided to break some stuff down. We covered some serious points. Really big fan of Let's Talk About Being a Nerd segment, right? I think there's some fun stuff to explore. We're gonna do a secondary bonus episode, and it's just going to be about CES content, what we're excited about, some of the things we found interesting, some of the things we found stupid. Samsung is doing their best to turn life into an anime, and even though I'm Team Apple, give us the bag.
I mean, because why the
I
fuck
am
not?
really for anything that makes my life any percentage more anime.
Pretty much. I mean, you know what's funny is like definitely the potential to bring back AR, which is going to be interesting for those of you poor bastards.
They
who
already go
actually-
nowhere, bruh.
For the you poor bastards who decide to try and buy in on Google Glass, you're like, this is going to be great, and then
I mean, it
realize
still
you
is,
look
though.
like a jackass.
I mean, Google Glass would have been cool if it had more support. We'll discuss that in the CES stream. If you have anything else you want to see from us, let us know. Otherwise, we are out. Thank you for listening. This has been 4 Nerds.
One podcast. Let's do that again because that was terrible. Please.
No.
Please.
That was
Fine, then I'll do it. But bonus content.
Put it on the Patreon. You get to see all the outtakes of us trying to do this perfectly.
All right, because we are 4 Nerds,
One podcast,
and
and
we
we
are
out.
out.
Bonus outro.